people will torture, abuse, hurt you, lie to you, steal from you. But at the end of the day, if they need help, they'll try to come to you and ask you for that help. Like you don't forgot everything that they done did to you. Boy, bye.
Samore Love Bugs, you have now tuned in to my haves and have-nots recap. Guys, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet done so. Also, be sure to share this video wherever you like to share videos. And don't forget to give it that good old thumbs up, okay? All right, so Quincy, it just looks like this man will not die. I mean, I thought that the way they done stabbed this man up, that he was gone, that he was out for the count. But unfortunately, this man was still moving. And it's funny because I was telling my YouTube family, my YouTube cousin, Mr. Mike B, I was telling him it looks like perhaps it could be rigor mortis, but no, it wasn't. This man was still alive and still moving, trying to grab her leg. Like, seriously, dude, just die. So then he's asking Candace to save his life, and he has that little, you gotta save me. I need you to do this for me. She's like, he's like, don't you remember the good time? No, what I remember is how you used to hurt me, how you choked me up, how you broke my ribs, how you did all these things to me, how you had your boys, have their way with me. Like, that's the things that I remember. She remembers all these crazy things. And, that's the same thing that I had said in a video on my other channel, Samore Love TV. I had mentioned that in a storytime video. I was like, it's crazy how, like, this dude, he had played me or whatever, but then at the end of the day, he wanted to come back and be cool. Like, no, dude, I remember everything that you did to me. Same thing with somebody else I had an experience with. We got into fights, beat me up, all kind of crazy stuff. I mean, he didn't literally beat me up because I know how to fight, I don't play that. But, all kind of craziness. But then years later, you want to come back, try to ask for forgiveness, and think that everything's going to be all cool and well. Nah, like, all these things are embedded in someone's memory, in someone's mind. If you had that kind of, willpower where you're able to say, not even willpower, but if you're able to say, you know what, all's forgiven, we're going to be friends again, I could date you or whatever, go ahead, bravo for you. But nah, I can't see myself doing that. And I understand why Candace was the way she was. And he's just like, well, I guess you want a murder charge under your belt. And she's like, you know what, at the end of the day, it's worth it because, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to give you nightmares forever. And she's like, you already have, like, for my whole entire life, that's what you've been doing, is just giving me nightmares. So I totally understand, why she didn't rush and take him to the hospital. But one thing that he did mention was that he did say, well, you know what, I have little Q's medicine. And she's like, what medicine? You're bluffing, you're lying. And he's like, no, I have his medicine. She's like, well, why didn't they mention anything in the hospital? He's just like, well, they don't always find it. It's rare or some crap along those lines. And he was like, you know what? After this, it's gonna always haunt you that you were the reason why your son died, because I know how much you love him. But right now she's just thinking about revenge, she's thinking about death, and she's not really listening to what he's saying and how important the things that he's saying is. Supposedly it's something rare where they don't always seem to catch it, and maybe this is a different hospital or whatever, so maybe they might not know his medical history, so perhaps that's the reason why they didn't give her the medicine that he needs. So the police on the other side of town is frisking Jeffrey, that same little police officer that we met at the house. So he kind of does one of these. Like, hold up, that's not frisking. That's getting a little frisky. That's what that was. All right. And then he's saying all these things. And there are a lot of people out here that are in denial and that will act like this. They'll be like, you disgust me. But in the back of their head, or maybe the reason why they're being so angry and so aggressive is because they know that that's the person that they always wanted to be, but were afraid to be that way because, You know, even sometimes I think Wyatt's like that. You know, he goes off on Jeffrey about being gay, but I feel like deep down inside he's gay himself. But that's a whole nother story, honey. Yeah, so he's like going in like, I know what you want to do to me in your head right now. Like, what? What is this dude? What are you talking about? If I was Jeffrey, I'd be like, what? Like, I didn't say anything. I just want to go to jail. If we going to jail, let me go to jail, bro. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, I see how you're looking at me. So what do you do with those guys? People like you, they're just so disgusting. Do you know what my friends would do to you? Do you know? Do you understand what they would do? That's the reason why he doesn't want to reveal that he's gay and is probably in the shadows and having a wife and just a whole facade of a lifestyle in order to not get chastised by everybody else and not get burnt at the stake in the sense of the word. You know what I mean? So yeah, he was like, I bet you want to offer me fellatio. And Jeffrey's like sitting in the car like, what is going on? Like, I never said any of this. And then he gets a call in where they're actually looking for Jeffrey. So that kind of saved the day because this guy had his zipper down and everything ready to bada bing bada boom and go ahead. I think he was going to really take advantage of him and give him the jailhouse special treatment early, if you know what I mean. But luckily, and he was like, who are you? You know, because it's like they're calling in, doing an APB type of thing for this guy. Like, who the hell is this guy? You're lucky you never do anything to him because they would have got you. Well, I wouldn't even say his mama because his mama's a whole nother level of crazy. So, you know, even though that's her son, I don't even know if she would have did anything for him. But his father would have gotten this man's job taken away if this would have got revealed. So he's lucky that he was saved just now. Yeah, but you see how people could try to take advantage of others? Like, that's crazy. And the way that he's going off on him, but like, it's like he's saying you're disgusting, but he's looking at him like he's a filet mignon that he just wants to like take a bite out of. It's crazy. So then some gangster guy tells Quincy's sister that, you know, because they're looking for him, they tell her that she could track the phone to find out where he's at. So now she's getting ideas. Now she's about to do that. Benny, he's like a fool sometimes and a bit naive, I feel, because he calls his boy over Warlock. It's Warlock, right? Or Warlord. I think it's either Warlord or Warlock. Warlock, I know, is like a male witch. I don't know. He's one of them. War boy. He calls him over and he needs some help because he's running the shop now, trying to get everything on and popping so that he'll be able to pay the bills for the house. And Warlock brings his girl over. She's answering the phones in the most ghetto, fabulous way ever. And yeah, it's just like she just had an attitude for no reason. And then he also calls up his other boy that he used to work with. And the dude, he's like, I guess he's like jealous. He's upset. You know, when people is ghetto, a lot of times there's other people that would just be so mad at your success. And they won't be able to like fully be happy for you. And I feel like that's how his homeboy was. And so his boy's like pressing him like, yo, how you do this behind my back? We get this money from this place, cost $500,000 to put up front. How was it that you was able to get it? I'm the one who told you about this in the first place. Da 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 da, going off. And Benny's just like, you know, I guess he like was just had it. He just wants this help from his friends. And those are the only two people he trusts. I'm like, boy, you need to get better friends because these two right here, they ain't here for you. They're not here for you, your success, to see you do well or anything else. So yeah, so Benny finally cracks and he's like, yo, my sister got it for me. She bought this house. She bought this place. She also bought 2 houses. And Warlock, he's just standing there like, you know, he got that peculiar face on like, oh, word? She buying $1 million. No, he was like, and how much was the house? He was like a couple mil or something like that. He's like, oh, word? Like she buying $1 million mansions for 2? And she bought this place? Okay. Mental note, check it. Got this. He's like, yo, where your sister live again? And then I guess him like a fool gives the man his sister's address, because he knows that all of them is cool, they all grew up together, so he's not thinking nothing of it. He's not realizing that he was the same dude that helped her when she had Jim bound to the chair and gagged him and did all these crazy things to him. He ain't know all of that. He don't know that he's behind the backstory of the whole how she came into this money situation. And how she only gave him $100,000 when she came into millions, and she was like fronting like I think she only got $400,000 or something like that. She told him nothing compared to what it was that she actually did get. So I mean, that's still a lot of money, but when you tell somebody that you got a certain thing, they're like, okay, this is a good portion of what it is that you got for the work that I did. But when they find out that you got way, way more than that, and it's like you pretty much took off a little piece of crumb and just said, here, that could cause a war, especially with people that's from the hood, you know? So when that happens, now Hannah, she's still at the hotel, you know, she's letting her pride be her guide, and little Quincy, he's not looking too good. He's sweating like crazy. He just looks really, really bad. And he tells her that he does need his medicine, and she doesn't know about any medicine. She's like, they didn't tell me about any medicine. But you know, he's a little kid, so he's not really saying what it is that he needs to say, and he doesn't really know what medicine he has to take, because kids they'll just take what you give them as long as you're somebody that they trust. They're not going, oh mommy, what is the name of this medicine? You know, they're not thinking about that unless, you know, you kind of help them to know, like if it's a kid that has like anaphylaxis or something, they'll know, okay, I need some Benadryl. He doesn't know what, you know, what it is that he needs to take. So he's just telling her that, and she's just like, okay, you know, if you're not feeling good, then I'll take you to the hospital. And he's like, oh, I feel better. I don't want to go to the hospital, because kids don't want to go to the hospital. Even my son, he's like, you know, he can be sick as a dog. He's like, mommy, I don't want to go to the doctor. I'm good. But you sick. You got a fever? No, I got to take control right now and do what I got to do. So I don't know what Hannah's going to do. Hopefully she ends up taking him to the hospital. But then again, they might not even know or be able to find out instantly what it is that he had, because like Quincy has said, it's rare and they're not able to find it so quickly, what it is that he has, and it at times gets overlooked. So then she calls downstairs at the front desk to ask what day she has to leave, and they tell her Monday. So I'm assuming that it's the weekend. Well, we all know it was the weekend, but I don't know if the days had already passed, if it was like already Saturday or Sunday or anything like that. So they do tell her she has until Monday morning. That's checkout time, I think at 11 o'clock. And she's like, okay, what about if I want to stay like an extra day? They say, well, it's $65 and you'll have to pay like now. She looks into she wallet, and she had five, six, I think she had $8. I'm like, girl, where you going? Where your credit cards? You know, I guess she old school. She just want to walk around with money or something. So yeah, that's all she had. So I don't know what she's trying to do, or if she thinks she gonna beg money for the rest of the whole entire time. Like, what are you gonna do? She doesn't have a plan, and she's letting pride be her guide, and it's guiding her in the wrong direction, because you can't have a kid living in a hotel. This is not Pursuit of Happiness or something like that. You cannot live in a hotel. You know what I'm saying? Or what's the other movie, 7 Pounds, where he was living in a hotel? You can't do that, especially not with a kid. So I don't know, maybe she'll end up folding and going over to Candace's house and try to talk to her, find out if she's going to tell the truth and say where she got the money from. Then she does end up calling back the social worker, Miss Long, and Miss Long is just like, you know, where are you? You haven't been answering your phone, and she lets her know what happened, because she did reveal that she went to the house to go check on her, and there is no house. Like, what house? So she tells her that she was trying to be hesitant about it and go around and beat around the bush, but she still had to end up telling her, like, I'm in a hotel right now, and I'm gonna get help from my boss. And she's like, I can't have him in an unstable environment. We know the Cryers environment is totally unstable. I mean, somebody got killed in there. The two bosses are in jail. I mean, that's just as bad as it gets. Yeah, they got money, but they don't got no stable house environment. And then their next boy is over here about to drug up himself. So yeah, that's like the worst place for them to be. So just when Wyatt is about to get that ka-ching, that moolah baby, he's messing up. He's doing things that he should not be doing. He's about to, he calls up his drug boy. The drug boy comes over and he has like 2 different options of coke and I think maybe pills or something. I don't know what the other thing was. I'm not too good with this drug stuff. So, but coke is the one that's powder, right? I think so. Coke and crack. Yeah, I think coke is the powder one. So yeah, he has like a brick of that, and Wyatt has no money, but he offers him credit cards for now because he's about to get the ka-ching. And you know how? Because his boy gave him some kind of thing, some kind of powder or something that he has to put inside of his pee, mix it up real quick. They send it off to the lab and it's gonna come out clean as a whistle. So that's his master plan. I'm like, why couldn't you just wait a little bit? Are you stupid? She said she's going to give you the test. At least wait until you get this money. At least wait until you take the test before you go messing up your life. This is how you got into this whole situation in the first place. But he doesn't understand or fails to realize that the drugs that he's taking, drugs and alcohol, is the root of all the problems that he's having in his life. So he ends up telling the boy that that he's gonna pay him. He's about to get this money, so he's gonna be good for it. He's always been good for it. So the boy's like, you know what, alright, you good. I'm gonna can I share this with you? This is the only way we can do this. But he's like, yo, I need that $80,000. This thing is worth $80,000. So they about to split it up, but his boy's like, you know what, can I call my friends over? Can we just have like a little party going? He's like, because. And I'm like, that's stupid. With all these social networks, people gonna be at the crier's house doing it. And somebody probably gonna have a little coke in the picture or something. I mean, I just feel like that's the stupidest idea ever. And for Wyatt to agree to it, you can just tell he's not in the right state of mind. Like, you want to do something, do it in the convenience of your own home. I mean, I'm not condoning this behavior, but I'm saying if you want to do something stupid, do it alone or do it with one person. That way it's contained. Now you're about to have a whole host of people and it's just going to be ridiculous. You don't know if this lady going to do a pop-up or something. Like, this is just stupid. So yeah, they about to call up the friends, and I just have a feeling this is gonna go really, really bad for him. But you get what you deserve. So now the cat is out of the bag. Veronica's affair is out. The whole world knows about it. The scandal has been revealed, honey, and it's in the paper. That's how she was able to see, because Mrs. Cryer, she ended up looking at it and she was just like, what is this? And then Veronica sees it and she's just like, oh my gosh. Like, this is the first time I've seen her look like she was worried, nervous, or scared or anything like that. And, scared about her reputation. I guess because she was trying to turn over a new leaf. It kind of seemed like she was trying to do right by her man now that she really knows that he didn't really cheat or anything ever since she had that conversation with Maggie Day in the last season. So I feel like now she's like more so like, okay, I love this man, like, let me not mess this up. But yeah, she's like, she's pretty sure that he's about to see it, and she looks like she was worried. And then he does see it on the flip side of town in the other jail cell. He's there with Jim, and she's just like, wow, like, I don't know why. He's like, I know why they would try to take me down, but why are they trying to split you up from your wife? He was like, look at this. And David just looked like he was totally distraught. He looked like he was just like somebody ripped a piece of his heart out and just went like this and just kind of stomped on it real quick like a little cockroach. Like, I was feeling so bad for him. I feel like I kind of do want him with Maggie, but kind of don't, because now she's playing extra dirty. I mean, what goes on in the darkness tends to come to light anyway, but I just feel like she's doing the most. I feel like she could have found another way, but I feel like maybe this could have maybe been the eye-opener that David really needed, because obviously nothing else was working. All right, my battery's blinking, so I gotta hurry up and finish talking. So then when we just think that everything's all said and done, Warlock comes over to Candace's house when the man finally dead. he comes knocking on the door, and she's like, you know, oh, she didn't want to let him in. She's like, it's late, I don't want to do this right now. I mean, a nosy neighbor probably watching, so she probably about to call the police anyway because it's late. But he comes inside, he's smiling and everything, trying to be a friendly face, but then he starts choking her up. I'm like, dang, girl, how you get choked up twice in one night? Because I'm pretty sure it's the same night. Dang, girl, like, you got some bad you got some bad guys in your life. So yeah, he choked her up like, yo, why you try to play me like this? You try to give me a little piece of money like when you came into millions? Are you serious right now? Don't even. And then he's like choking her up, pushing her back. And then he puts up to the, like, she dead literally stepped on Quincy's leg. I'm like, yo, like, I know in real life he's not dead, so that had to hurt because she literally stepped on him. She tried to like move it real quick so she don't step on him too hard, but I saw that she stepped on him. But yo, then Warlock saw Quincy on the floor and his eyes just opened up wide like this. Yo, so I'm looking forward to see what happens in the next one. I don't know if he's gonna try to use this against her. Maybe he might just help her, but be able to hold this over her head if she don't give him a good portion of the pot. So she gonna have to sell something or just end out her bank account or do something. Oh yeah, but she don't really even have money like that anymore, right? Because didn't they take the money? That guy that she was talking to, the white boy, I think he took out all the rest of the money that she had. So, I don't know, honey. We gonna see. Alright guys, let me know what you thought about this episode down below. Thanks for watching. Stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.